Hi, family. You are warmly welcome once again to my YouTube channel. I am Richard Oben, and I'm here to expose you to the branch in mathematics called Algebra. We are still in the journey of looking at how to factorize algebraic expressions. So, in my previous videos, I did well taking you through how to factorize algebraic expressions, which involve two terms, and um, so with that, we looked at what we call the type 1 method of factorization, where I expose you to another um, idea or another method that you can use in factorizing expressions involving two terms. So please, if you are new here, I would advise you to go back and then you observe those videos that I did on the type 1 and then the type 2 method of factorization. So over here, let's see what mathematics has for us today. I also advise you or also encourage you to stay tuned and you subscribe to this channel so that we believe that at the end of the day you'll be blessed. The reason being that we are here to help whoever that is having any problem in mathematics. So have it in mind that when you stay tuned with us. At the end of the day, you become the best version of yourself. Now, let's continue with life. And please do not forget to subscribe to this channel so that always you'll be the first person to get in touch with our video anytime that we upload said videos. We are on a journey helping students to become the better versions of themselves in the field of mathematics. So let's dive into the 5-3 method of factorization. So over here, as you can see, I have expression involving three terms. Now, this method of factorization, I have termed it as type 3. Why? Because we have the same variable within the expression. And you see, as you can see, question number one, I have x squared 5x squared plus 5x plus 6. Now, looking at questions which are of this nature, we call this expression as a quadratic expression in terms of algebra. And some people call it quadratic trinomial. Are you getting me? So here it is quadratic because looking at the expression that we have there, we said that we have the same variable within the expression. So here is x squared. This is also x. Are you getting me? And there is a constant as well. And you realize that that variable over there has a degree of what? 2. Are you getting me? So we said that it is quadratic because the the variable within the expression has a power to be 2. So looking at it, we have x squared. Are you getting me? And we have the same variable within the same expression. Are you clear with that? Very good. So let's see how to factorize it one after the other. Most students find it challenging, and please do not worry yourself. I'm here. I'll take my time, explain it step by step, so that at the end of the day, you will also get a concept one after the other. Right. So let's see how to dive into this. All right. So looking at question number one, as I said, it is a quadratic. Some people call it quadratic trinomial. Yes, it is quadratic trinomial over here. Trinomial. Are you with me? It is a quadratic trinomial. It is quadratic because quadratic, looking at the power of the x here, the same variable x there is what squared, and there's a constant in there. That is what we call it. So anytime that you encounter expressions like this, we call them quadratic trinomial. And these expressions have a way in going about it. So quickly, let's see how to factorize it so that you will also be blessed at the end of the day. Question number one, I have the expression to be x squared now plus 5x, which is plus 6. So I have a constant and I have a number with the x attached to it. Then I have x squared over there. How do we factorize this? Now, in the first place, for us to factorize expressions like this, remember that it is not only this expression that has three terms in there. There are some algebraic expressions that they have three terms, whereby you can be asked to factorize. But my point of view is when you are given expressions like this to factorize, please, in the first place, confirm or figure out whether the expression that you've been given is a quadratic trinomial or not. Are you getting me? So in the first place, you check if you have something like this, you realize that over here, If you look at question number 6, right, or question number 2, we have x squared. You realize that here we have x there. Are you getting me? And there's here one of the variable is being squared. So this gives you the clue that, oh, it is a quadratic trinomial. So therefore, you can easily dive into it and factorize. So let's see how to factorize it. X squared plus 5x plus 6. Now, what I'm going to do is, in the first place, we've been able to identify that this is a quadratic trinomial. So we continue with the first approach. Our first approach is identify whether it is a quadratic trinomial or not, as we said. So our second step is we are going to identify the coefficient of the variable squared. Are you getting me? The coefficient of the variable that is being squared within the expression. Now I have the variable square, which is x here. Now, what is the coefficient? The coefficient here is a unit number, which is 1. Remember, I told you in my previous videos that in algebra, anytime that a variable stands on its own in terms of algebra, we said that the variable has a unit coefficient, that is the number 1. All right, so after identifying the coefficient that is 1, then we are going to do something here. We are going to pick the coefficient, which is 1 here, to multiply the constant. There is a constant in this expression. Now, what is the constant here? When we say constant in algebra, we are referring to a number that stands on its own. That is a number without any variable attached to it. So if you look at this expression, you realize that we have a number with no variable, and the number is what, 6. Are you getting me? So 6 becomes the constant because there is no variable attached to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the coefficient of the variable square, which is 1, to multiply the constant, which is 6. Are you getting me? So multiplying this by this, I am going to get what? 6. I believe you are following. Very good. So I'm getting 6 as my answer. Now my next approach is I am going to find the factors of this answer that I had, factors of the number 6. Now if I'm to find the factors of the number 6, why am I to find the factors of the number 6? I'm doing that because I want to find two numbers which are factors of 6 that if I add, I will get 5 over here. But if I multiply, I will get 6. Are you with me? So factors of the number 6, I'm going to get what, 2 and 3 here. Are you with me? Very good. So now let's check this number 2 and 3. Remember, the factors of 6, we can also have 1 and then 6. Are you getting me? Factors of 6, 1 is a factor of 6, 6 is also a factor of 6. But ask yourself that when we add 1 plus 6, are you going to get 5? No. So we should stick to the number what? 2 and 3. Are you with me? Very good. So let's continue with life. Now what it means is we said that the two numbers which are factors of 6, when we add them, so when we add 2 plus 3, we are going to get 5. So this one means it is true. It is true. This one will work for us. So we accept that it is true. I get it, because when you add 2 plus 3, you are going to get 5. Our next approach is these two numbers, when you multiply, you should get a constant, which is 6. So when we multiply 2 by 3, are you going to get a constant, which is 6? Yes. This one is also true. So if it is true like this, then we can easily use this or dive into that. Now let's continue with the process. So as after we are done with this, now we can go ahead and do the factorization. So my first step, we all know that 1x squared is the same as x squared. So over here plus my 5x, I'm going to split the 5x into 2. Are you getting me? So here we are spreading out the 5x over there. Now remember, 5 over here, I had two numbers that when I add, I will get a 5. And the first number is 2, so I'm going to get what, 2x here, plus the next number is 3, so I'm going to get what, 3x here. Okay, plus the constant, which is 6. So I'm getting the constant, which is 6. So I am now getting an expression which involves what, 4 terms here. So I am done with this part. Let me clean it off. We dive into the next approach. Now, after getting something like this, then we are going to cage, or we are going to group these 4 terms into 2 folds. Are you getting me? So grouping them into 2 folds in terms of brackets, it means I'm going to take the first 2 terms, which is x squared plus 2x. Then I'll group it into 2 folds. Then plus my my second 2 terms, I have 3x plus 6. So I am done grouping them into 2 folds as well. So now we can continue with life. So we said that after doing this, you come to the next step, which is we grouping the terms within the expression into two folds. I believe you are following. Very good. So now we are now going to take individual folds, then we factorize it one after the other. So let's come to this part, how to factorize this. So now I have the expression to be x squared plus 2x. How do we factorize this expression? Now, you remember in my previous video, that is the type 1, I told you that factorizing this, we employ the idea of what finding for the common terms. How do we find for the common terms? In an easy manner, I am going to use the expansion approach. So here I'm going to get x, and then x, that is x squared, can be simplified or expanded as this, plus the 2x in mathematics can be expanded as this. I get me. So here we identify the common term. Now x is here, then x is also here. So x becomes a common term over there. Now there's another x here, there's no x. So I am done identifying the common term. And the term that are left, I'll put it in the bracket. So here is left with 1, so I'll just multiply. 1 times x, I am going to get what? X plus, then here I'm going to get multiply 2 times 1, which is 2. Are you getting me? Now you realize that 2 is not here and x is also not here. So x and x become the common term. So I am done factorizing. So I'm getting x out, x plus 2. So this is what I am getting. Now it means that I am done factorizing this and my result is this. So continue with the next process. I am getting x out, okay, then x plus 2, then my plus. So I'm going to take this one also and factorize it as well. So factorizing the expression 3x plus 6. Okay, now using the expansion approach. So here can be 3 in a bracket x, then plus. Remember, this 6 is not a prime number, so I have to get two prime numbers, which is 2 and what? 3. Okay, 2 is a prime number, 3 is a prime number, so I can leave it like that. If I multiply 2 by 3, I'm going to get 6. Let's identify the common factors. So 3 is here, and here too I have 3. So that I have 3 as a common factor. Now x is here, x is not there. So I'm done identifying the common factors. I'll open a bracket, I'll multiply 1 times x. Here I'm getting x plus, then 2 times 1, where I'm going to get what? 2. So my final answer gives me 3 bracket open x plus 2. So this is what I am getting. So it means that after factorizing this is what we are getting. Are you getting me? Very good. So here we have 3 in a bracket x plus 2. Now the idea in terms of factorizing quadratic trinomials is that when you are through the process, you realize that what you have here should be the same as this. So now, since what we have here is the same as this, then it means that we are on the right path. Then we can conclude our answer. So writing down my final answer, because here is the same as this, I'll just take the coefficient of this one, write it here. That is x, and I'll come to this place, that is plus 3. I'll put it in a bracket, and after I'll pick one of these, that is x plus 2. So this then becomes our answer. This then becomes our answer for the question number 1. It means when we use this bracket to expand this, we are going to get the question back. You can try it and see. So thank you very much. This is how to factorize a quadratic trinomial. So I'll give you some few time, you watch or you go through, then after I'll get back to you, then we dive into question number 2. Okay, so you are warmly welcome back again. So now let's continue with question number 2. And I believe you're okay. You are okay with the procedure. Don't worry, we are going to solve all the questions with you. And we believe that at the end of the day, you understand the concept one after the other. Question number 2. So question number 2, I have the expression as x squared plus x minus 6. Are you following? So x squared plus x minus 6. We said that to factorize this, in the first place, you confirm or you check whether the expression given to you is a quadratic trinomial or not. Now, as you can see, we have x here, x there, a constant. It means that definitely it is a quadratic trinomial, and one of the x is being squared. So it is a quadratic trinomial. So therefore, you can use the principle behind factorizing quadratic trinomial to factorize it as such. So after identifying it as a quadratic trinomial, our next step is to figure out or to find out the coefficient of the variable squared. What is the variable squared here? It is x. What is the coefficient? The coefficient is 1, here too is 1. But our concentration is on the 1 here. Okay, now we pick this coefficient 1, which is 1 here. We are going to use it to multiply the constants. Now the constant here is 6. It goes with a sign over there. So negative 6. I'm going to use 1 to multiply negative 6. And 1 by negative 6, I'm going to get what? Negative 6. Are you with me? Remember, the constant here is negative 6, but not what? 6. I believe it is clear. Very good. So let's continue with life. Now, my next approach is I'm going to find for the factors of the number negative 6 here, such that if I should add these two factors, I should get what? 1, which is 1x here. And if I multiply, I should get what? Negative 6. The factors of negative 6, I can have negative 2, positive 3. I can also have positive 2, negative 3. Are you getting me? Yes. These can be factors of that. I can also have 1 and negative 6 as factors of this number negative 6. Let me write it here. So 1 and negative 6 can also be factors of negative 6. I can also have negative 1 and what? 6. You see, the factors of negative 6 should be numbers such that when you multiply, you will get the negative 6. Realize when you multiply negative 3 times, sorry, negative 2 by 3, you are going to get negative 6. When you multiply 2 by negative 3, when you multiply this and this, you are going to get this. When you multiply this and this, you are going to get this. And when you multiply this and this, you are going to get that. Now, the question is, which of them suit or which of them will suit what we are looking for? Remember, we said that when we pick these two numbers, when we add it, we should get this, the 1 over here. So let's see. Let's ask yourself, when we add negative 1 plus 6, negative 1 plus 6, what are we going to get? We are going to get what? We are going to get positive 5. Okay, negative 1 plus 6, we are going to get positive 5. And here is what? 1. So it doesn't match it at all. So we cannot pick this. So this one is out. When we add this and this, which is 1 plus negative 6, we are going to get what? Negative 5. So that one too does not match. So therefore, this one also goes away. What about when we pick this? So 2 plus negative 3. We are going to get what? Negative 1, right? So it means this one does not pick. Then let's come here. We are picking negative 2 plus 3. Definitely, we are going to get what? 1. So it means that this one is true. This one will work for us. I get me. So we said that the factors of this negative 6, it should be such that when we add, that is when we add that, we should get the coefficient of the x here. Are you following? We should get you see here is 1, so here is 1. Then it means that it is clear. So therefore, now that we are done with it like that, let's confirm it and see. When you multiply negative 2 by 3, are you going to get a constant? So negative 2 multiplying 3. What are you going to get? We are going to get negative 6. So it means that this one is also clear since we are getting negative 6 here. So therefore, we can expand this and rewrite this one as x squared. Remember, 1x squared is the same as x squared plus. So 1x can be expressed as, are you following? Over here, positive 1x can be expressed as negative 2x. As this one goes there, negative 2x plus this one also comes. So plus 3x minus 6. Remember, when we add negative 2x plus 3x, we will definitely get what? 1x. I believe it is clear. Very good. So let's continue with life. Our next one is after open it, I'm splitting this to get something like this. We are going to um, we are going to group the individual terms into two folds. So let's start by grouping it. So we have bracket open x squared minus 2x here, okay, then plus we have bracket open 3x minus our 6. Are you following? Very good. So now we are going to pick this side, then we factorize. We pick this side, we factorize. So let's pick the other side. We are having x squared minus 2x. Okay. So using the idea of expansion, we have here x here to x minus. So mathematically, this one is also 2 multiplying x. So here the common terms here, we have 1 here, there's another x here too. So this one can be a common term that is out. We open a bracket. Let's check it and see. Do we have x here, x there? No. 2 is here, there's no 2 there. So we are done identifying the common terms. I believe you are following. Very good. So let's continue with the next approach. So here we are going to multiply the 1 here by the x. So we are getting x minus, this 2 will multiply the 1 here. So we are getting 2. So writing down our final answer, we are getting x in a bracket, x minus 2. So we are done factorizing this, and this is what we had using the idea of what? Expansion. So we have x bracket open, x minus 2. So this is what we are getting plus my addition sign. So now we are going to continue with this side using the idea of expansion to factorize this. All right. So let's continue with the next procedure. Now, factorizing this, that is having this x minus 6. You realize that using the idea of expansion, I'm going to get 3 brackets open, x, and this 6 is not a prime number, so I'm going to get the factors of 6, which are prime numbers. I have 2 and 3. Okay, when you multiply 2 by 2, you are going to get what? 6 over there. So here there's a common term 3, here too there's a common term 3. I believe you are following. Very good. So here 3 becomes a common term out, leaving behind 1 by x, we are getting x minus 2 by 1, we are getting 2. So mathematically, this can be expressed as x in a bracket x dash. So it means that after factorizing this using the idea of expansion, we are getting 3 brackets open, x minus 2. So that's what we are getting over there. So as I said, you see, in the course of you solving it, you realize that over here, what we are getting here will be the same as this. Then it means we can easily write our final answer by writing down the coefficient. Then we have the coefficient here to be x plus the coefficient here is 3. Okay. Then after we take one of these, so we are taking one of them, and we have that. So therefore, question number 2 becomes the answer for question number 2 becomes what? This. So we are getting this as our answer. I believe you are clear with that. Very good. So that is how to factorize question number 2 also being a quadratic trinomial. So you take your time, you glance through, and after we all dive into question number 3. All right. Thank you very much. I believe you are following the lesson, and indeed, you are getting all what we are giving it out there to you. And I believe you are enjoying life also. I believe whatever thing that we are exposing you to, you are getting it step by step. All right. So now I will advise you that we created this channel purposely to help students out there who are facing problems in mathematics, and we are here to help you throughout all your mathematical journey. All right. So now let's dive into the next question, which is question number 3. Now I will advise you that now that you have been able to get in touch with us, benefiting like this, your colleagues are also out there. Please make sure you share with them so that they will also be redeemed from their problems that they are facing in mathematics. Right. So let's dive into question number 3. So question number 3, I have a squared minus a minus 6. So this time around, it is not x squared. It is what? We don't have x in the expression anymore. We now have a different variable squared. So I said that when you see an expression like this, first of all, confirm, check it and see whether it is a quadratic trinomial or not. How do we determine that? We first of all check whether we have the same variable within the expression. Yes, we have the same variable. Yes, a, yes, a. I get me. So therefore, it can be a quadratic trinomial. Now, the second step is let's check whether one of the variables is being squared. Yes, one of the variables is being squared over there. So it is a quadratic trinomial. So therefore, we can employ the step-by-step approach in factorizing quadratic trinomial. So let's proceed with life. Now, our step says that, or our principle states that after identifying that it is a quadratic trinomial, let's check or let's figure out the coefficient of the variable squared over there. The variable squared here is what? A. So the coefficient is 1. I believe you can see that. Here too is I believe you can see that. Very good. So the coefficient of the variable squared a is 1. So that means that if I multiply this 1 by the constant, which is negative 6, I believe you can see the constant. Here is the constant, multiplying negative 6. If I multiply it, I'm going to get what? This as my answer. I believe you are following. Very good. So mathematically, if I multiply 1 by negative 6, I'm going to get negative 6. So after getting something like this, I believe you are following the process. Very good. So after getting something like this, it means that my next step is I'm going to find out the factors of the number negative 6. Now, factors of the negative 6 should be numbers. It should be two numbers such that when you multiply, you are going to get negative 6 here. So we can pick negative 2 and positive 3. Someone is saying negative 3. Ask yourself, when you multiply negative 2 by negative 3, are you going to get this? No. Negative 2 multiplying negative 3. You see, negative times negative gives us positive. 2 by 3 gives us 6. So this will not work. Meaning, this will not work. So we can pick negative 2 and positive 3. And when you multiply negative 2 positive 3, you are going to get this. Another factor can also be negative 1 and positive 6. When you multiply negative 1 positive 2, you are going to get this. Yes. Another factor can also be 1 negative 6. When you multiply this and this, you are going to get that. Another factor can also be 2 negative 3. I believe you are following the trend. Very good. So 2 negative 3. When you multiply 2 by negative 3, you are going to get what? Negative 6. Are you clear with that? Very good. Now, our next approach is we are going to identify pair of numbers which are factors of this such that when we add it, okay, such that when we add it, we are going to get what? The coefficient of the variable a here, which is negative 1. Okay, we are going to look for pair of numbers here, either being this, either being this, either being this, either being this, such that when we add it, okay, when we add it like this, we are supposed to get negative 1, being the coefficient of the variable a here. Are you with me? Very good. So let's check it and see. Let's see. When we add negative 2 plus 3, gives us positive 1. So it means that this one will not work. This will not work for us. So we cannot pick this. What about this? This one gives us what? Positive 5. This was positive 1. What about this? This one is negative 5. This one gives us negative 1. That is when we add it. Okay? I'm saying that when we add 2 plus negative 3 gives us negative 1. 1 plus negative 6 gives us negative 5. Negative 1 plus 6 gives us what? 5. Negative 2 plus 3 gives us what? 1. So it means that we can pick this. Meaning when we add 2 plus negative 3 gives us negative 1. So it means that this and this will work for us. Are you following? Very good. This and this will definitely work for us. So let's continue with the next step. And you see, since we are getting negative 1 here, let's check it and see. It means that when I multiply 2 times negative 3, definitely I should get a constant, which is negative 6. So this one works. It works for us. And this one also works for us. Okay. So let's split up this. So I'm now getting a squared. You see, 1a squared is the same as a squared. Okay. So when I come here, negative 1a, in terms of here, I'm going to write down something here. So let's come here. So I have the first part, which is plus 2a. Okay, I am splitting the negative 1a out. And I have the second part, which is negative 3a. So here is minus. Remember, when I add 2a minus 3a, definitely I'll get what? Negative 1a. I believe you are following the concept. All right. So minus the constant, which is 6. So I'm done with that part. We continue with the next part of life. Our next part is, now that we are done with that, we are now going to bracket the individual two terms one after the other. So we pick the first two terms. We have a squared plus 2a. Okay, then we pick the next part. Over here, be very careful, my friend. Be very careful. There's negative here, there's negative there. So if I introduce the negative here, be very careful with that. And I introduce the bracket, I'm going to get what? 3a. Definitely, when I use the negative sign, negative minus to multiply positive 3, I'm going to get what? Negative 3a. I would mean. But when you come here and you write negative 6 like this, you are wrong. Because when you use this negative sign to expand this, you will not get it. So definitely here is supposed to be what? Plus. Are you following the concept? Very good. So that negative will expand. Here will give you negative 3, which is that. Here, when you multiply negative by positive, you get what? This. Remember, negative multiplying positive. This has what? Negative. Okay, so it gives us, so this one becomes clear. So here especially students get confused. Okay, so please kindly follow so that you understand what we are trying to say. Very good. So after bracketing it like this, our next step is to factorize this and factorize that. Are you following? So we pick a squared plus 2a. Now factorizing this using the idea of expansion. So I have a multiplying a, and a times a gives us a squared plus, so 2, here is a. Identify the common term. A is here, A is there. So A becomes a common term. I am done identifying the common terms, as you can see. So 1 will multiply this being an uncommon term, which is A, plus 2 multiply that, I'm getting this. Okay, so writing down my finance, I'm getting A bracket open A plus 2. So let's come here and write down my answer. A in the bracket, A plus 2. So that's what I'm getting over there. All right, so our next approach is we are just going to take the next binomial expression, which is 3a plus 6. Then we also factorize that one as well using the idea of